Alrighty, hello. I'm back, ready to do some tarot. For those who are here early, nope, no one's here this early in the stream. That's okay. I need some time to think about what kind of cards I want to pull for today. Gonna get everything all set up. Normally I start just yip-yapping right off the bat without anyone being here. I know all of you YouTube people love it when I just talk to y'all, even though no one's here live with me. I'm kind of running a little bit low in energy. I had a lot of mood swings that are happening. Pretty sure it's just me really just dealing with some mood swings. I haven't checked my astrological chart in a while. I haven't seen what planets are influencing what at this time. It's just I'm just having a lot of really strong mood swings. I really do believe it's the new moon. I usually don't have a great experience with new moons. I don't know how people feel really wonderful with new moon energies. I just don't. I do fine on full moons, which probably indicates one being psychic or whatever, which I guess, I don't know. Full moons I usually do well. Okay. Let me see which deck I want to work with today. Okay, definitely this one. And just in case we want some normal tarot cards, we do this. Okay, who's going to be the backup? Okay, you will. So we'll just go ahead and put you away. And we'll just put you here as a reserve. There we go. Alright, I think I am ready for any sort of tarot readings for today. Today is going to be really low-key, just looking at new moon energy, how we could utilize it, Also, just looking ahead for June, all month of June, I have some pretty big plans for June, which is part of the announcement I'm going to do. Um, and that's about it. I think that's all I could do. What I can do while I'm waiting is do the card of the day. I'm gonna just chill here and wait until some more people come in today. I wonder something major had happened. Okay, nothing really drastic. Okay. This week I have been editing the VODs or videos for June. I have been recording some things for June, and I finished editing and just uploaded yesterday. I have one more video I have to finish edit. I have to finish editing and then I could like send it up. I think I'll go ahead and go and do the message of the day. So that's been my whole week so far. I celebrated Memorial Day weekend. It was pretty low key. My parents really don't go all out on celebrations. It's just like a buffet kind of situation, and then we just hang out. You know, nothing really major, no major like fun games or anything like that. It's a very low key kind of celebration. So really nothing major is just going on presently with my life, which is kind of weird because I've always had something going on with my schedule, with, whatever projects I've been working on. It's kind of weird to like take a break and relax for a change and not do anything really super duper drastic. So it was just kind of weird. I think I'll do 6. Yeah, I'll just do 6 and we'll just go from there. Not me looking at the back of the cards while I put these things down. Yeah, The camera has a tendency to move when it wants to. Okay, doke. This is awfully whited out. Yeah, it's coming from the window. Hold on. Okay. That looks so much better. Okay. So I have 6 cards here. I could wait for a little bit for y'all to decide. If you're watching this on YouTube, this is just the message for the day, what you need to hear, in case you're just very, very super duper busy and can't watch the rest of the VOD. Hopefully this will help you out as you... Oh, Yo-Yo Boy, thank you so much for the follow. You just came in just in time for pick a card, message of the day kind of thing. So, if you want to do the pick of the card, you just select one that really draws you in, whatever your gut tells you. Hey, I want to choose this card. You can choose multiples if you so wish. I usually like to wait until I feel there's a message I really needed to hear. And then I just work with that message. It's usually something that resonates with you. If you don't know what resonate means, it usually means that something really jives with you, something that feels a little bit more profound than usual. Top, middle? Okay, cool. Something that like really speaks to your heart. That's probably the best way of saying it. Something that really speaks to your heart. I mean, you feel like this is a message you just need to know. Like your gut is telling you this is what you need. So that's all for message of the day. I will go ahead and just wait out in case y'all need more time. How are you doing, Yo-Yo? Well, welcome in, by the way. Oh, congrats on your day off. I'm doing okay. I have been editing one video. I'm not done with it yet, but I'm almost there, and I can't wait to upload it on YouTube and get it, scheduled. But been a very chill kind of day. It's been raining here, so it's all kind of subdued. Really strong, chill vibes, really. Yeah, a lot of people love rainy weather. I have a love-hate relationship with rainy weather. Yes, I'm from the US. I'm American. Well, part of the Americas. But yes, I'm from the USA. It's kind of hard to like be chill with everything that's been going on right now in my country. It's just there's always something new that's terrible. And it's really hard to just keep your chin up and persevere and just try to not despair and just keep on going. It's just really hard to do, and it feels like I don't want to beat myself up for just trying to go about my day like normal. Um, but the work that I do, being an author, the stories that I write are the kind of stories that the current administration, who is very adamant right now being anti-woke, would have not liked the stories that I'm making, you know. And because of that, I feel like I'm doing some way in some part and sticking it to the man by just continuing on with my stories. And hopefully that will inspire others to live a bit more courageously and not be so intimidated by others. So I hope I'm doing enough. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And hopefully I could just continue on this career past, this administration's term. I'm glad I'm not the only one, feeling that way. And I know that's silly to think that I'm alone or we're alone in thinking this way, but it feels isolating sometimes. You know, you go on social media and sometimes you don't see people, feeling the same way as you do, but they're also trying their best to live in spite of what's going on, you know. There are people right now who are in the position of power who are trying to do something about this situation and are able to gather people and funding to try to advocate for the things that are really helpful for society. I think that's the best way of saying things that are just not too political. It's really difficult not to be political in this day and age with what's going on because it's just not typically blue team or red team right now. It's just, it feels everything's just been, all the old concepts have been like swept off the table for this new iteration of governance, and I just really don't care for it. Oh, it looks like we're going to have an ad kicking in real soon. After the ad is done, I'll go ahead and do the readings here. I just want to give some time for everyone to just pick a card that they want to pick. Or if there's more people coming in, allow them time to come in and choose. Which I need to get something for my nose. There we go. There's really no excuse for my nose to drain. Yeah, I do have allergies, but I've been taking allergy meds for grass pollen. The type of makeup I'm wearing is like eyeliner makeup, and I like to draw it on the bottom mucous membrane, and that does tear me up, and that of course drains through my nose. So it makes me a little bit snuffly, like a little bit later. Hopefully it won't be a constant thing, but no guarantees. Probably will put on my gloves for today. They're not sore. They just feel a little bit stiff. I think that's the best word to say it. My whole body's been sore because of the intense exercise I did yesterday. I knew I was going to feel the pain later. I just wish later isn't today, you know. Okay, welcome back from the ads. I'll go ahead and start. I usually start from the bottom up. So we're going to go with card number 1. Okay, so we have our ancient future. Yep. A little bit. Have some intense lighting here. There we go. Hopefully it's not too bad. There we go. I think that looks a lot better. Okay. An ancient remembering is emerging. Sea crystals and the knowledge they are imbued with are becoming unearthed. Those who see a better future are not just dreaming. Their minds and hearts are hearkening to the core of earth-based traditions to bring through knowledge that will help shift this paradigm into balance. This card is imbued with activations, and you are being showered with blessings in preparation for a transformation. It may be turbulent at times, but you will grow and heal through the coming journey. You can navigate a situation you have no experience with by being truly present. Integrity and intuition will guide you. Okay, I don't think I need to explain this one. Usually a lot of people who get this card are kind of in that transition state from one chapter to another, and they just feel a little bit anxious moving from that one chapter to another. And this is one of those, don't worry, it's going to work out. You will have the strength to move through this stagnant period. Just put those seeds you want to plant into the ground. Essentially. There's a lot more going on with this photo here. We have the yin-yang symbols. We got the waves crashing. We have the helixes in both palms of her hand. So a lot of stuff going on here. And if that really inspires you to think in a more positive manner, or think outside of the box to help you overcome what mental obstacle you have, I hope this helps. Okay, that's card number 1. Card number 2, we have this one here. Realm Bridger. As you raise your vibration, explore different states of consciousness, You may experience phenomena you believe only happen in fantasy stories. Through meditation and journeying, we invite a greater awareness of subtle realities. These realms can be amazing places to bring through pioneering ideas and creativity. This card is about bridging the seen and unseen. Just as water changes from solid to gas to liquid, we can change the intangible in other forms. Metaphors, codes, or even maths can form the path of the visionary. From the mind and the heart, visions can merge into matter. Dream outside the box. It's time to create the foundations of our realities in a fresh, new way. Okay, so it's about connecting the dots, thinking outside the box. It's kind of like blueprints, how some puzzle pieces are not as direct as some others. You have to kind of twist some of the words a little bit. There's a little bit of wordplay. You have to scramble some letters together. You only have pieces here and there, and you have to trust your logic and instinct to kind of put it all together to make a cohesive whole. Eventually, you'll be able to puzzle things out and figure out the underlying meaning. Okay, card number 3. Unique gifts. We all have gifts to bring to the world. If we all did what we truly excelled in and enjoyed, our talents and abilities will enable our communities and our planet to thrive. If you haven't connected with your purpose, look at your quirks and what they are telling you. What makes you unique? Look for the positive sides of your oddities and traits. Things you have considered shortcomings might be the qualities that enable your gifts. Are there things you like to try or feel pulled to explore? Now's the time to follow these whispers. You never know what they may reveal. There's nothing wrong in being different. I think our strength comes from diversity instead of being the same. There's nothing wrong in using that unique ability that you have to utilize it in a wonderful, cool way. Eventually, we'll all come to the same answers or same conclusions that's going to help solve the problem. You're just going to do it your way. That's going to help you, Nothing wrong at all in being different. All right, card number 4. We have this one here. Trust your inner sense. Sometimes it can be hard to decipher between intuition and what our mind is telling us. Stories, projections, or fear can arise under the guise of intuition. To distinguish truthful inner guidance from paranoia, we must return to innocence, to our purest essence. Here we have access to the truth of our being. Honesty is more than not lying to yourself. It is about not withholding and having deep transparency within yourself. In your heart of hearts, you hold the answers. Notice the first thoughts you have before you second guess yourself. Listen and honor these. Okay, so we have a tendency to doubt and trust our abilities because we have been disappointed before from our efforts. I mean, it happens. life isn't always fair. You're not always going to win. Sometimes, despite of all of your abilities, you will lose out. That doesn't mean it's always going to be a failure. And we shouldn't always have to trust fear. Okay. And we can't have that fear become our intuition. That's not what our intuition is all about. It's about making sure that you're able to call the right moves that is for your benefit or for the benefit of those around you. And you can't let fear or paranoia hijack it. It won't be objective enough. It will always be pessimistic or negative, and it's going to steer you to be stuck and isolated in one place. In order to live this life, you had to have growth and you had to have trust. So just think on it. Find a way to come back to your true gut instincts without letting fear hijack your system. And if you ever need someone to help you out with that, you could always look for a counselor or a therapist to kind of help you get there. Okay, harmonic flight. Card number 5. This powerful image represents the divine we see when we look deeply into the eyes of another and our armor drops. When we meet another being present in the moment with no stories, judgments, or insecurities. When we harmonize our energies with another, we can soar to the sky. We can guide each other higher and higher by encouraging all that has been weighing us down to drop away. The bonds you share give you the power to transmute fear. Put time and awareness into resolving karmic connections, or they will continue to play out. There may also be life-changing connection on the horizon. So, you could be resolving some issues with another person. May not be karmic itself, but it could be a life lesson in how to interact with people in a better way, without judging others, without being a bully, and vice versa, where they have to learn not to be judgmental on you and not to bully you, etc. So just think on it. What it will be like to go about without judging people on their differences, and see if it helps you see a clearer picture, help resolve any problems that you're currently having, any arguments or issues with other people. Hopefully that will help give some clarity. Last but not least, we have card number 6. Communication co-creation. We normally think of information as something that can be written or spoken, but if something is multidimensional, it is almost impossible to share it with words. How are you communicating beyond words? Something may be getting lost in translation. An issue may be cleared through improved communication, which is the whole thing about a new moon in Gemini. Listen carefully to what someone has to say without interruption. Furthermore, it may feel scary to share vulnerable truths, but this may be the only way forward. This card also encourages greater exploration in the realms of telepathy, healing, and the arts, such as poetry, painting, and music, where there is collective communication beyond the mind. Okay, so we can communicate through music. We can communicate through poetry, books, movies, stories. There are ways of communicating our opinions and our feelings through mediums of art. Not necessarily like traditional means of art. There could be other ways of communicating our desires or expressing ourselves that is felt and understood by others who come across such mediums. If you are having a hard time speaking up for what you're feeling, how you're dealing with this whole situation, especially here in the US, it's just so right now. Maybe using an art form or a medium to help channel those expressions out or emotions out will really definitely help you and will inspire and also help connect with other people who feel the same way or who understands where you're coming from. And you don't necessarily have to use words to truly describe what you're feeling. So long comes from the heart, and so long you're open about those feelings. That's what it really matters, I think. So that is the message of the day. I wonder if there's any questions. If y'all had... I know that sometimes the words can be a little bit hard to understand because it's a little bit new age. Okay, Cosmic, I'll see you soon. Feel like all of them resonated with me. Wow, that's really cool. I'm so glad that they all really help you. I really feel this. I really do. I really need to get back into my my book and work on other things. But I'm so glad that they're all really speaking to you. That is amazing. If there are no questions, I'll go ahead and put them away here. Today is a little bit easy peasy. I know there's a huge announcement I'm going to do at 5 p.m. Hopefully I could just give myself... Hold on, I'm going to set up a timer. Hi, Amber. Four? What do you mean 4? Are you talking about the 4th card that you need help with? Oh, you type your question. I probably should be a little bit clearer in the drop downs. Hold on, let me set my clock. If I could ask the cards to see if just a general reading would be okay. See if there's anything you need to know right now, but if it's really too broad, I'll let you know. And we can see if we can narrow down any concerns that you have. I don't mind doing general questions. Sometimes it just can be a little bit too broad for the cards. Let me shuffle these back in. The camera is swaying. Sorry, I have a motion detector camera here in the middle, and the gears have a tendency to sway a little bit. Oh my goodness, thank you so much for the sub. Really appreciate it. You definitely will have an oracle card with your reading. No problem. And just a heads up for anyone who's new, whether you're here or on YouTube, I try my best not to do my interpretations during ads. Usually I try to dismiss them and like have them skip whenever that does occur. I've been there where I, didn't have any money to like subscribe, and then it will come to my term, and then, I don't get the message because a commercial occurs. So I usually try not to speak, or at least not interpret during ads. But that way, you don't have to worry about that, and that leads us closer to the sub goal. Currently, I'm of the mindset that if we hit the 5 sub goal, I get to spin the roulette of any of the backlog games that I have in my library, and whatever it lands on, I'll play that game. And if y'all really love it after the first hour of the game, we'll just make that as the game to play from here on out until it's completed, So that's going to be the 5 sub goal, or the goal when we hit 5 subs. I'm going to have to write that down somewhere eventually. Get something a little bit more upbeat. I don't mind instrumental music. I just need to have instrumental music that actually sounds good in the background. Okay. So this is the past, present, future. All right. Let me double check the 5 swords here. Oh, let's go ahead and get your oracle card here. It will help you out. Okay, awesome. Let me double check this here. All right. Okay. Let me look at the Knights here. Okay. So, I'm going to take it like a career kind of thing, more or less. It's possible it could be talking about other aspects of your life, like your relationship with others, or like with family, or what have you. But I'm going to take it as if it's focusing on a career aspect of sorts. In the past, you had reached a point where there was arguments and disagreements. Let's pretend there was another card here that kind of leads up to this point. There was a lot of disagreements, harshness, just general arguments. No one is hearing each other out. Everyone's just screaming at each other. Here, in this card, things have finally settled down where both parties can be heard and understood. This could also indicate in a career where you have to leave a job or a position because of these intense arguments or disagreements. No one is seeing eye to eye, and it's just a very aggressive environment to deal with. This could also be dealing with arguments in a relationship and finally being heard. So whenever that moment happens, that's what led to here, this moment, this present moment where they are encouraging you to move fast and seek out opportunities. It could be seeking out opportunities that's a new job or a new career path, seeking out new opportunities to apply yourself elsewhere. With the Knight of Swords, Swords is usually mental powers and communication. It could be like sending out emails, filling out application forms, calling people, etc. So kind of like hitting the ground running, but not in a physical way, but in a communicative kind of manner. And it's encouraged to not miss out those opportunities and rate out and just go and take them. Seize the day is probably the mantra for this present moment. So whatever realizations you had found in the past where the dust has been cleared and you realize that this is just not going to work out, or like I'm just not going to get through these people, or when you finally are heard but it's just not going to be for your benefit, it's encouraged now to look for those opportunities at this present moment. In the future, there will be progress with whatever endeavor you wish to go after. Just a caution though that it's going to have a lot of hurdles and some delays um, as you're progressing forward with whatever endeavor you're trying to do. That doesn't mean you should stop and delete or completely, you know, erase it or put it in the trash. Just keep on going through those hurdles and obstacles and delays. You're still making progress down the road with whatever you're going to get yourself into. And just keep at it. Continue to persevere. Um, I think, depending on how much time it has passed when you finally reach this realization point, that's so much time in the future where you may have that little disruption, that moment where you feel like, oh geez, is it really worth it? Nothing's really going my way. So whenever that happens in the future, just a little reminder, no, just keep at it. It's going to be fine. It's going to require hard work. It's going to require, a little bit of sweat and tears, but you're still going to make it. And with this card, it said that you have a lot of resources available to you. You just got to dig down and look into it. So let me read this card off for you. Eternal Explorer. When we stop looking outside ourselves and surrender to a soft inner focus, we have access to unlimited information and resources. When we stop thinking with the glass ceiling of our intellect, we have access to multi-dimensional wisdom from the collective consciousness. Everything is there within you, waiting for expression. You are invited to explore the state of flow. You are an infinitely amazing being who can access collective consciousness, especially when you surrender some control to the greater process or get out of your own way. You have the permission you felt you needed. Go within and explore. Wonderful gifts are waiting for you. So whatever narrative that is preventing you from going above and beyond, go ahead and just break it. And look within yourself and find that gift, find that thing that makes you amazing, because you do have it. And if there's something that you can't really puzzle out, I'm pretty sure you know the way. You just got to look within yourself to find it. That's what they're saying here. And I think that really ties in with the Knight of Swords. In fact, they kind of have the same color scheme. A lot of blues and grays and purples here. It's using your mental state to overcome any obstacles that are in your path. And I do believe that whatever that comes across your way that really, that you take a shine to, I think it will be worth it in the end. Definitely for sure, don't stick in a place where you have to constantly be on a wheel and be broken over and over again. If that makes sense. Of course, I'm talking about like career aspects or professions here, but it could also apply to other parts of your life. So I hope that helps. Any questions? That was spot on. Awesome. I was really worried that was going to be too vague. Oh, my back is killing me. Awesome. I'm so glad I was able to help out. I believe in you. I think you just gotta believe in yourself. I think that's the very key component here. Oh, and if you have any questions, just let me know. But for right now, I think I am done. And thank you so much for letting me read for you. I wish you all the best. And don't get discouraged. Oh, anytime. I don't know why I'm feeling a little doubtful today. I guess it's because I have this major announcement coming up and I'm just a little bit anxious. So if I feel a little bit insecure, I'm really terribly sorry. Okay, I'm gonna look at the rewards here just to say I'm done with the reading. And y'all are more than welcome to request any readings throughout the day. There's no real structure for today, except for, the big announcement that will happen pretty soon. I probably would do like a collective new moon reading and maybe like a look ahead in June. I think that's what I'll do for today. But if y'all need readings, please do interrupt me. I'm more than happy to do those. Let's see. Okay, let me use this card. Oops. Okay, I guess I need to put this card elsewhere. For the new moon readings, I usually like to do the manifestation spread that you probably will see in the channel points. I see new moons kind of like goal setting, what kind of goal you wish to achieve in this 30-day period or 28-day period. And let's see if there's any obstacles that you need to remove or any opportunities you need to keep your eyes out for along the way. And I like using the Lemurian deck for that one. And I have a feeling because of the announcement I'm going to make, I won't be able to split it by signs for April 1 or by like elemental signs. So I'll just go ahead and do it for April 1. So if you're watching this right now, this is for all of you. And usually the question will be, what do we need to focus on? What do we need to clear the way to make room for this? And anything we need to know that's coming up. Or anything else we need to keep in mind. Okay. So card number 1, we have the high heart chakra. We have the crystal keys here. And the third eye chakra. When it comes to the chakra cards, I like to remind everyone, or at least I should be reminding everyone, you don't have to do the chakras if you don't follow that kind of practice. You're more than welcome to not follow those, that kind of philosophy if that's not something that you jive with. But at least there's a core message that we could take away from that inspiration, or that type of inspired symbol, I should say. And that may help us set our intentions for the rest of the month, or at least the rest of this Gemini season. So, for the new moon, what do we need to focus on? Or at least what they will encourage us to focus on? The high heart chakra. This card taps into the blissful oneness we feel as we drop our edges in protective containers. This is the place where we feel held and seen, enough to flow into oneness, where the eternal part of me meets the eternal part of you. This is the selfless state where our higher selves commune, for illuminating perspective on how we share, gift, and lift others in our joyful overflow. Consider your life purpose by exploring what allows you to give in joy. So what we need to focus on is how do we connect in a heartfelt, genuine communication, where instead of seeing the other person as the enemy, how do we see the other person as ourselves, as someone we want to be friends with, or to at least connect on a more friendly level. I feel like a lot of people in the US would really benefit from seeing other people, not their enemy, but as, another person trying to get on and live their life. No different than you and I. So how do we connect and leave those biases behind? I think that's what it wants us to focus on, which is very fitting for a Gemini new moon. How do we connect heart to heart? What will help clear the way for that kind of energy or that kind of focus will be the crystal keys. Lumerian quartz crystals are special pieces of clear quartz said to have been coated with great knowledge for the spiritual evolution of the human race. This card is about deciphering wisdom codes. Be inspired to find the wisdom hidden times when you feel triggered. There is so much information within our raw and intense reactions that when you choose to be present and peel back the layers, great spiritual insight will unveil itself in a way tailored just for you. Wisdom comes through inner paradoxes, be odd, in creative flow, or a state of surrender. These crystals may be powerful keys to your spiritual evolution. So this is kind of hard of a concept to explain. Usually when we experience microaggressions or get into arguments with other people, part of it is a learning experience. What do we learn about ourselves and others through that type of interaction, even though it is a very negative and aggressive kind of interaction? There is a tendency to be very jaded and hollowed when we experience these type of things. And sometimes it wouldn't hurt to kind of peel back the layers and try to understand the mentality of the other person, where they're coming from, why they're saying the things that they do. Or at least looking at ourselves and seeing how we contribute to the problem. Or like, what experiences or lessons are we going to take from such interactions? That's really hard of a lesson to take, especially when we're dealing with a group of people who are very bigoted or judgmental, or who is so aggressive and like hurting others who are very different from themselves. But there is an underlying cause and effect here, and it's just learning what those causes and effects are. More than anything, I think the wisdom comes from not blaming yourself from such interactions. There's nothing wrong you had done, so long you have the big picture of understanding why these people act the way they do. Maybe it's really them who are miserable, and what do we take from this, from understanding this big picture reasoning and experience? It's not an easy thing, and I can see why this is shown, because this can create disruptions for this to come in, where we see other people like ourselves to try to be vulnerable, be genuine, and to have a pleasant experience with others. These type of arguments and interactions that are very triggering can create walls where we don't want to interact with others, don't want to go out and have fun, always see other people as the enemy because we have been hurt in the past. I think it would be beneficial if we try to understand that these type of people who are hurtful and judgmental are a very small minority in this whole nation. And they really are not the majority here. Not every single person you come across are out to hurt you. It's just this one terrible person. In my experience from retail, it feels like 1 out of 10 people are usually just awful. But that doesn't negate the lovely experience of working with 9 other people. So something to keep in mind as we're trying to build positive relations with others. Try not to let this interfere with this. Last but not least, something to keep in mind, or any opportunities we need to keep on a lookout for: the third eye chakra. Connect with your third eye and transcend what you understand with your mind. Discover a deeper inner knowing through the interconnected web of all this is and has been. You can tune into this wisdom at will as and when you wish to. This wisdom is ancient yet pioneering. It is the creator of the free will we choose to weave from moment to moment. Be the observant witness, allow the transcendence of duality without judgment. Be mindful, listen, and allow your unfurling intuition to unravel the paradoxes of reality. And I think that paradox is this: the paradox of connecting with people and trying to get past these kind of people, trying to connect and also having boundaries. Also, having the dignity to work around or navigate around these kind of people who wish to do harm, while also trying to have positive, engaging, genuine connections that are heartfelt. And it's kind of a bit of a paradox here. But it's not something new, but it can bring some new enlightenment along the way. So, something to think about. Really deep for this new moon reading. Really surprising. Or maybe not as surprising as I think it is. Okay, I'm going to take a small sitting break. How do we feel for that kind of reading? I need to stretch more often. Oh man. That workout was really intense yesterday. Yes, yes. I feel like that message really is very helpful for those in the LGBTQ community or any other marginalized community. It's really hard to go high when they go low. Because you want to, fight fire with fire. And usually that tends to be rather explosive. And you kind of go nowhere fast. I'm excited for this upcoming month. I have some really cool stuff planned for Twitch and for YouTube. I need to put some things together for Blue Sky, but I just want to finish things out for here and YouTube. I haven't forgotten y'all on Blue Sky. You never use Blue Sky. It's not that bad. It's like old Twitter, like in its early days. It's a little bit more positive. It's a little bit easier to find community. You can create your feed however you wish. And if you don't like what you're seeing on your feed, you could switch it out with another one. So it's kind of like you could build your discovery page with what you want to see or don't want to see. So you're not really bombarded with everything that's going on. It's not really algorithmic dependent. You can pick and choose what you like to use. Yeah, it's not as negative and definitely not as toxic. I want to say that Threads has become close to being toxic. Kind of like X. A lot of people on Threads are creating a lot of hot takes, and a lot of people like to hop in and use pitchforks and torches, to discuss some things, and it gets real heated real fast on Threads. You have things that really sizzle, or it just explodes, and there's no medium ground, no real nuanced discussions. Here in Blue Sky, it's pretty chill-ish. Not really chill, I should say. It really depends on the comments. I always feel like it's the early days of Twitter. It can get negative, but you just have to block or ban people that you just don't want to like see. No, absolutely not. I used to like threads, but it became really intense real quick for me. And when I learned about what was going on with Meta's algorithm capping against anything that wasn't PC with their standards, I just left. I cold turkey left Instagram and Threads the beginning of this year. Wow, it just feels like a whole other year when I did that back in January and February. At first, I was really sad that I had to leave Instagram and Threads because of such, you know, such policies that were coming from Meta that were like interfering with my business. I feel like I had better say on Blue Sky than I ever had before. Whatever I posted, I feel like people were able to see me and find me. And the tags to Blue Sky, or like to Book Sky, I should say, it's just easier to be seen and to have other people who also like books or fantasy books or anything that you like, you'll be able to find that community. So long you use those tags. Otherwise, if you don't use tags, people who follow you will only see your post if they don't have other stuff going on in their feeds. I personally feel like it's a little bit more tag dependent than anything else because you're able to pick up and put down certain feeds on Blue Sky. And I think that's okay. It's doable. And it does have its own algorithm now that there's a slew of people having their content out. But if you want things in a certain order of the day, you could switch over to your following page, and any people that you're following, you can see it in order, chronological order. Excuse me. Okay, ads are gonna kick in real soon. I'm gonna take the time to use the restroom before the big announcement. So I'll be right back. Don't go anywhere if you want to hear the thing. Hi, I'm back. Oh, yeah, there will be time for readings. Definitely time for readings. For sure. Let me go ahead and do a little Blue Sky post for those on Blue Sky. About the big announcement. I don't think it's going to be so big where it takes up 2 hours. There will definitely be time for readings. And definitely for sure there will be readings in June. Oh, whoop. Let me go into here. Also, it's kind of wild on Blue Sky that I have 274 followers. I'm really blown away how everyone wanted to like follow me on Blue Sky and just enjoy the things that I post and comment on. I really am dumbfounded how people just like what I just put out, and I really, really, really appreciate it. Okay, oh, definitely would do that. I think I have time. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that right now. I think I have 15 minutes. I think this would be better. Oh, excuse me. Okay, I just want to make sure. Oh, let me double check. 2 of 1s here. And I may have to double check the 6 of Cups also. If I could find the 2 of 1s. There we go. Okay. Okay, so what are we changing from? Let's look into that. Okay. So, with the sun, this is kind of the current situation where things are rather pleasant. You may not know it now because you're going through this and you're living in this present moment, but you will find that this is a rather pleasant experience for you. Not a lot of issues are going on right now, per se. Things are very smooth. And this will be a good time to have some sort of joy, joviality, or joy, happiness, etc. Usually, this is the time period that comes after dealing with some sort of anxiety or overcoming any sort of fears or obstacles of that nature, like in the moon, where things have been very hazy or confusing. This is a reprieve where you finally have that, sun parting the clouds kind of moment. So, this is the current situation now. Pretty good. So, what is going on? Hi, Zoe. Welcome in. So, what you're sensing probably is this need to break routine. Change is inevitable in life. We're always growing and changing and transforming things. That's part of nature. And we're not above those type of transitions. Going from one chapter of our lives to another. And you may be feeling that change is going to come, and that kind of change could be a change of environment. It could be moving from a home to another home, or a job to another job, something physically to move, as indicated with the Two of Wands here. It's more of a physical change of the environment to another. It could also, graduating from one school to another. It is encouraging you to break this rut, to break this routine, so that way you don't get stagnant and you don't sit and fester and mold. Because even though it's pleasant right now and things are good, don't interfere, but don't stay in one place, because you are going to outgrow that area, if that makes sense. No, do be content, do enjoy what you have, but don't resist change. Don't resist change to the point that you run away from it. Don't resist change where, that you refuse to go on this journey. Don't be a stick on the log, or be a stick in the mud. I think that's the best way of saying it. Oh, you do have graduation and job interviews in sight. Yeah, you're going to change. And that's what's going on. And I think it's just coming to terms to those type of growing pains. Trying to find a place in the world for you that will be to your benefit. And you will have to make some decisions that will be beneficial for you. But do enjoy this moment. Do enjoy the victory of graduating. Do enjoy the company that you have. This is a wonderful experience that you're going through. And I think it would be wonderful to, kind of reflect back like how easy it is at this time that you're having, where you don't have all these responsibilities or obligations that you might endure down the road. But that's not to say that, anything that you're getting into would be too difficult to handle. It's part of growing up, it's part of living. So be happy to the best of your abilities. I know that's really hard to say concerning what's going on right now. Just don't resist the changes that you're going through. If you have to move physically from one environment to another, like a whole new home, moving from one state to another, or what have you, that's okay so long you make the decision that's best for you. And I hope that helps. And I wish you all the best. Congratulations on graduating. And I hope that you get whatever you want. I think that's really cool. I remember when I graduated from high school, I received so many gifts from my mom's friends. And I still have it with me to this day. It's just so kind. And it's a huge moment graduating from whatever it is, whether it's high school or college. And it's no easy task. Some of the best moments of my life, even though it was really difficult and so exhilarating, high energy, kind of a little bit anxiety inducing to transition from one thing to another. But it was a very fun moment to have. Oh, and thank you so much for requesting that reading. I think that is really cool that you're going through that. Hello, Crazy Sorbet. Welcome in. Also, hello, Soy, if I didn't say hello to you before. All right. And Morph, hello. We're getting some people in. I'm going to wait a little bit before I make my big announcement. In fact, I may have to do some behind the scenes magic. There we go. Oh, thank you for redeeming a reading. I'll do that after the announcement. Thank you, thank you. I love Ghibli music. I love it so much. I thought this would be good to listen to. Just trying to get everything all set up. Oh, geez, I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, it is at 5 p.m. And I did say I will make like a major announcement. Some of you may know. No, wait, hold on. Hold on. I think I need to get something before I make my major announcement. Ah! Okay. What time is it? About 1 p.m. Okay. Not 1 p.m., but like a minute after 5, I should say. Okay. Some of you may know I'm an author of The Doppelganger Queen. This was released back last year in the beginning of December, December 4th to be precise. I had only one table I had experienced. There we go. My timer went off. No. I thought I'd turn it off. Oh, jeez. This is so crunchy. This is so scuff. Hi, Blondie. Thank you for helping me out here. What was I saying? Last year, I only had one table that I was part of to sign exclusive editions of the Doppelganger Queen before the release date in December. And I haven't had a table since. And now this year, I have been invited to go to Indie PopCon at the very end of June, the last weekend of June. I'll be going to PopCon at Indianapolis, Indiana. The Four Horsemen table is going to be there. They had major success, and it was a wonderful experience for them, but I wasn't there earlier. I went to the Louisville PopCon, and I was able to have a fun experience there last year. But this year it's going to be bigger and better than before. I'll get to see all of you there, and I will be signing my book at the Four Horsemen table. So any book that you have purchased, whether you purchase it online or at your local bookstore, or there at the table, I will go ahead and sign it for you, and I will make it personally just for you. I will also be joined with my fellow authors. If I scroll down here, here's the rest of the authors that will be joining me. We have Rick Hines, who is one of the authors who did Black Ballad, a RPG tabletop series. They have some novels that are part of that. So he's going to join there with me. The lead editor of Four Horsemen, who's also a 2-series author, J.M. Paquette, is also going to be there. Let's see. Andy T. Hansen and PC Nottingham. I did an interview with them last year. We had a blast doing some Star Wars trivia or other like trivia stuff. It was just awesome. I completely bombed in that trivia game, but you will have some sci-fi authors there. These two are like awesome. I adore them so much. Also, PC Nottingham also have a teenage series that's coming out with ninja squirrels. So if you're into that, you're more than welcome to. Erica Lyons and Valerie Willis will also be there. They're the founders of Four Horsemen. And of course, Chelsea Burchendon. She's a dark fantasy writer like me. She also does fantasy romance along with Valerie Willis. Valerie is also a dark fantasy romance writer. She kind of looks like me. I know we're twinning. She honestly looks way better than I do. She's got her look down, you know. I'm a little bit more whimsy. But yeah, I'll be joining with my friends. We have panels that I would be part of. I will go ahead and mention the panels that I'm doing. Aha, here it is. So I'm planning on that last weekend of June. From June 27th to June 29th, I'm going to be there for any VIPs. So if you all happen to be VIPs, I know it's very expensive. I'm not asking you to shell out so much money. But if you do happen to be a VIP, I will be there to the best of my abilities to greet you and say hi to you in the very early mornings. I think y'all will have like the first 30 minutes, maybe the first hour to yourselves. Depends on the day that y'all come in. You don't have to worry about the long lines that's occurring. So that's a major plus. So I'll try my best to be there for all you VIPs. But I will also be there at the panels that they had me on. There's one panel on Friday where I talk about creating characters. That will be at 1 p.m. Talking about like how you create characters, all their flaws, all their backgrounds, how it happens. I'll be joined by Nick Smith. Oh God, I forgot Nick Smith! Don't be mad at me, Nick. I'm so sorry. Just because I forgot about Nick Smith, we're going to talk about him a little bit. He's done quite a bit of stuff, honestly. He's done quite a bit. Songs for Persephone, American Spirit, Cloud Walking. He's got some books through Four Horsemen. He's done some really cool TV shows. Really, really cool guy. I can't believe I forgot about him. I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry. So he will be joining me about how he creates characters. I'll be talking about my process. And Andy's also going to be there for that Friday panel. Saturday, I'm going to have 3 panels back to back, starting at 11 a.m. I will be talking about fan fiction, how it inspires me, you know, how authors are able to curate their craft through fan fiction writing. We're all going to gush about fan fiction there. Immediately after that, I'm going to talk about pride in prose, talking about representation, talking about like unique voices and bring that to the table, why that matters. So I'm going to be on that panel. And following after that, it's about feeding the beast, where to get story ideas, talking about how to combat writer's block, how do you handle ideas while you're working on a current project. So stuff like that. I think that's our most intense author panel selection. I think all of us are going to be there for that panel. And Sunday, there are 2 panels. Oh, no, I'm not going to have an ad through that. No, thank you, Twitch. Sunday, I'm going to have a panel at 11 a.m. Mastering Magic. So I'm going to talk about the magic system in the Doppelganger Queen, and how I'm going to do that for the next upcoming books and what considerations I have to make. Hi, Rose. Welcome in. I'm talking about being part of Indie PopCon. I'm going to be there at the very end of June, the last weekend of June. I'm going to be there signing books and everything. This is my baby that I just wrote. I keep doing this. You would think I would know how to do this thing. So this is my book. It's released. It's out right now. More than welcome to check it out in your library. It's everywhere. The only downside is that I don't have an audiobook yet. That is still in progress. Everyone else is having their audiobooks done. There's just a lot of things going on for my publisher's side of things, and when I know about an audiobook, I'll let you all know. Thank you. Thank you so much. And if y'all want to still buy any books, Four Horsemen still has a sale going on for the rest of this month. And I do believe there's another sale going on in June. I will give those details in the newsletter, so that way if you need it in writing, it will be there. I'll discuss more about that. I think this coming Saturday. Pretty sure about that. But even if you're not buying my book, if you buy a Four Horsemen book, you're helping the publisher, who will have the funds to help me, flourish and grow, and the rest of my fellow authors too. It's going to help support them, help support all of us do what we do and do what we love. Oh, I forgot to mention the last panel I'm going to be on, which is genres and tropes. That will be 3 p.m. on Sunday. So talking about like what tropes we like, what we don't like, how do we use it and don't use it, etc. It's going to be a blast. I'm really super duper excited to go to PopCon. Eventually, I will find a way to create more opportunities for book signings. It's just a matter of resources. Like if I have a car and a couple of bucks in my pocket, I could just go off and do all the signings I can do. Thank you for the follow, Rose. That's very kind. I hope you like it here. Thank you for joining. Yeah, you're more than welcome to request any readings. Oops. That's the join. There we go. So joining, if you want to get in line for a reading, it would be through your channel points. The more in-depth readings are for the more intense card spreads, like the Celtic Cross. That's like 1,000 channel points for a more in-depth, look into a situation. Oh, no problem. No problem at all. I'll definitely would get to y'all's readings after this. Um, but yeah, that's my major big announcement for today. Just I'm gonna be there at PopCon. It's gonna be a blast. I'll try my best to be at the table as often as I can. I still need to figure out when I'm going to be there at the table, and when I have it all down pat, I will send an email to all of you who had subscribed, and I'll try my best to fulfill it. I shall fulfill my oath that I made. But I'm like super duper excited. You're new to Twitch. Twitch has this thing where you accumulate channel points. Channel points are it's a artificial thing where the more time you spend on the channel, the more they give you this currency that you can use for certain redeems. Some channels have it where you do a cool sound effect. Some of them have it where you can highlight your message. There's fun rewards like, oh, do a impression. Someone will do an impression for you. For me, I like using it for tarot readings where, let's say, like 300 points is for like a 3-card spread. Oh, whoops, ads are happening. Sorry about that. I'll explain when you come back. No. So, yeah, there we go. Oh, let's see. Oh, and other stuff coming up for June. Here on Twitch. Oh wait, we're all in ads. What am I doing? What am I doing? I have to wait for y'all to come back. Any questions from all of you subscribers? You know, I'm super duper excited to like meet all of you there. I can't wait. Oh, Liv, thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. Back to it after the break. Welcome back from ads if you're just getting back. Okay, we should be officially done with ads right now. So I could talk about the other things I have planned for June. So it's not just Indie PopCon I'm going to be part of in June. I'm also doing cool things, or at least I think it's cool, for June. Here on Twitch, I'm going to do tarot for Wednesdays and Saturdays. And they're going to be community themed, LGBTQ community themed, where each day represents the color of the flag. The flag has different meanings with each color. There's life, there's community, there's spirit, there's nature. Something that Hardy had put together before he was sadly taken away from all of us. And it had grew since then. So I was thinking of doing tarot readings surrounding that kind of message, that kind of theme, to celebrate being part of the community. So that's what I'm going to do for Twitch. So starting that Wednesday, we'll be going through red, which is life. Saturday after that will be orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, Indigo, and then I'll be away at PopCon. So that Saturday I won't be there, but I'll try my best to like record some videos and like upload things to YouTube. For YouTube, instead of just doing VODs of those type of readings, yeah, thank you. I really wanted to do something that is going to help bring everyone together and to kind of help create a sense of community and try to give hope, because it's just so antagonistic right now, more so than ever before. It feels like there are some people out there who are just trying to strip away everything that has been built up. And it's not just the LGBTQ community, it's also Black community, POC community members, everyone who has done so much legwork in trying to have like human right issues, any social issues, trying to make some sort of progress and trying to bring people together and be respectful with each other. At the very least, be respectful. It's just really, really hard. So I just hope, at least in this tarot corner space, to try to create a sense of community by going through those colors of the flag. So if you're willing to join me, I want to do those type of readings for all of you, and of course do personal readings along the way, because I know that sometimes we just need that little extra help along the way. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad that y'all think that's a wonderful idea. I truly, truly am. I just really want to bring that forward here on Twitch. YouTube, I'm planning to do a LGBTQ gameplay. I already had played most of it. I'm not done with that game. I scheduled some recordings, and I had some of them uploaded. I'll be doing that kind of work throughout the rest of this month. And those will be throughout the Wednesdays and Saturdays on YouTube, that LGBTQ game. And the game for this year is going to be Crimson Waves on an Emerald Sea. I don't think a lot of people had heard about this game, and I think it just needs a lot more love than people gave it. And it's been such a good game so far. It's a visual novel game, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think it deserves some love. So I will have those uploaded on Wednesdays and Saturdays. There won't be any VODs from Twitch of the community stuff uploaded to YouTube. So that's kind of the price I'm paying right now, is that I'm not going to be able to save some of the LGBTQ tarot readings. It will only be through Twitch, but you will have a game that most people probably haven't heard of, that deserves some love, and that is very LGBTQ supportive. So I think that's a huge win in my book. What's going on? Oh my god, all of the things. I am planning to do a little bit more promotion on Blue Sky. A little bit more promotion about me going to PopCon, a little bit more promotion about, the characters in this book, in this story. More about, like, who are they, where they come from, just letting y'all know about Aramis, about Dawn, about Korza, about Myrrh, everyone else in this book, for the Pride, month, and maybe a few other things I want to do on Blue Sky. So I'll be making those kind of posts in the usual time slots, or at least usual time slots on Blue Sky. So I won't be neglecting all of you in Blue Sky, you will just have a little bit more promotional stuff heading your way if you're on there. Um, and I hope that it is something that you would enjoy. Um, Amber, since you just came in, um, big announcement, I am going to Indie PopCon. I'm going to be there at the very end of June, signing my book along with the other Four Horsemen authors. So if you already have the book purchased, if you are going to purchase it there, I'm more than willing to like sign it. I will be ecstatic to go ahead and sign it for you and like meet and talk to all of you. And I also have panels that I will be part of along with my other fellow Four Horsemen authors. So that's cool. I think it's cool. So that's the big announcement. I know that not all of you are going to be here for today, so I will do it again on Saturday. And so your fellow Final Fantasy friends here on this channel, they have some big stuff waiting for them. It's going to be a blast. I'm super excited. I hope it goes well. Well, we shall see. It is absolutely exciting that I'll be doing a signing, and it's totally okay if you don't have the book. You can always check it out in the library if you're ever curious. It's totally in there. I think some libraries do have it as an ebook as well. It depends on their funding and resources, which, you know, if you all are able to like help out your fellow library librarians, please do like help out in any way. They also do other stuff than books. Some of them have like 3D printers, which is mind-boggling. Absolutely mind-boggling. How did we get another ad on Pandora? I don't understand. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. That's the big announcement. I'm going to be there in Indie PopCon. Get your tickets now. People who saw it in the newsletter, you're welcome for getting it early. I tried my best not to spoil anything. I was really worried that everything was spoiled when Four Horsemen was going out with their promotional stuff. I was kind of panicking, but I'm glad that I was able to keep it a secret till today, and I'm glad that you newsletter people are like excited to like get into this. I'm super duper excited to get into this. So yeah, that's the thing, and thank you everyone for being here for this announcement. I will get back into like the normal tarot stuff shortly. What time is it? Oh yeah, we got time. We got plenty of time to do some tarot. But yeah, any questions if y'all have about like going to PopCon, about the cool things that are happening? I've been cooking. I've been cooking. I'm trying my best not to overtax myself as I've been cooking, because, you know, you can get burned with the fire if you're not careful. You gotta have, you know, the heat turned down. But yeah, I'm like super duper excited. I hope the things I'm putting together for June is gonna be awesome for all of you. I can't wait to see what you all say. Oh, Rose, whenever you do have the channel points, don't hesitate to get your rating in, whatever that is, and I'll be able to do your reading. Just make sure you redeem it through your channel point system. If you need any help explaining things, if you need help for me to explain things for you, do let me know. I know that you're very new to Twitch. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and do a reading for Soy. Doing a manifestation reading. Oh, and as always, thank you all so much for being so supportive, whether it's supporting me as an author or like here on Twitch or like anywhere else. I really appreciate you like supporting me. I really do. Sometimes I get a little bit discouraged when I like do my stories. I feel like, who's going to read this? Who's going to enjoy this? And to know that there are some people out there who would enjoy it, and that there are people out here, willing to like enjoy the things that I do and want to bring to this table here at this desk. I really appreciate you. I really do. This is all really for you and your enjoyment, and to like help give you a sense of peace, helping you find some sense of comfort or some sense of answers through tarot, and also some form of entertainment through my stories and through my books. And also fun with playing some video games like Final Fantasy. So I really, really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for being here and supporting me. It's been a long journey. It's been a long, long journey. So thank you very, very, very much. Okay, Soy, do you have a particular question with your manifestation? I don't think it usually has a question with the manifestation reading. I could be wrong. I keep asking this and then I keep forgetting. Oh yeah, there's no place to actually write it. I'm sorry. I will eventually create some things where you can write down your questions and all the things, so I don't have to keep asking. Oh, and I usually do this card for manifestation readings. I hope that's cool with you. Ah, work in general. Okay, cool. Love the cards? Okay, awesome. I probably will be using this deck for June. This is probably the most LGBTQ positive card deck that I have. The other decks I'm sure are also very positive and understanding, but this is probably something that doesn't deal with gender norms, thinking outside the box. Very pro-androgynous, very pro-non-binary. So I love working with these kind of cards when it comes to Pride Month. Okay. So concerning business, we're going to look at what you would need to focus on, what you need to clear the way, and anything you need to know for opportunities ahead. All right, let's get down to it. Okay. So right off the bat, we got this amazing card called Soul Star Chakra, Merging with the Divine. This image captures the merging of time beyond space and kaleidoscopic wisdom that penetrates our being. We have lived in many worlds. All interconnected, they uphold the lessons they carry as messages of transformation. Their synergy creates the expansion of the universe. Gaze into the place where the light between our stardust can become anything, and collective evolution as part of a grander story. When we simply let go, we become all that we have been seeking and glimpse the greater dream. Meditate on the idea that everything that ever was and ever will be is happening simultaneously right now across multiple dimensions. Okay, so that's pretty big, but what does it mean? It means, one, not to limit yourself. I think that's the main narrative throughout this whole deck, is not to limit yourself with whatever it is that you wish to do. Especially, like, you know, having the faith to go out and do the thing that you want to do. You know, believing in yourself that you can do it. You have that little divine energy in you. So why would you mentally beat yourself up for it? But also, like, understanding, like, how we interconnect and intertwine with everything that we do. Just the smallest thing that we do in our daily lives has impacted someone somewhere out there, even if it's on a business level. The things that we do impact our coworkers, impact the company that we're part of, and impacts the customers if you're working with customers. It does matter. What you do does matter. And if you consciously try your best to do the best of your abilities, surely something good will come from it. And I don't think you should limit yourself in any form of manner. And also, like, meditation would be super duper helpful. Word. Yeah. It's a really big card. It's really awesome. Okay, I have to like this song because I absolutely love it. It's Kingdom Cards, I can't help it. So, how to help bring this focus into reality and make space for it? Two minds, one family. Okay. No, two wolves, one family. Oh my goodness. Just stop me. Just stop me. Alright, this is a little bit creepy, but I swear it's not that bad. Awakened awareness. This is how we create space for that type of focus. There are many levels of awakening. Keep learning and putting yourself into situations where you can grow. Stay aligned with your inner guidance and do what you love to keep your vibe high. Seek not instant pleasure, but substantial and sustainable joy. Eat healthily, keep your body active, and have life goals, but with enough space to hear the answers to your prayers. Find your unique way to connect to the divine inside you. Okay. It's really synergizing here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Not as a eternal seeking, external seeking, but as a receptive allowing. Be inspired to see the question at hand with a different perspective. Look between the lines for a deeper interpretation. Okay, so one, self-care. Make sure you are really taking care of yourself. That's one way of clearing space. Once you are able to meet your physical needs, like making sure you're not hungry, making sure you're not thirsty, you're getting some sleep, you'll be able to work anything that is a mental obstacle that you could like work through. And it's not really something that hard. It's just allowing yourself to fall within the folds of your own being. Allowing yourself to accept yourself and not to dismiss yourself just because you're mortal. There are some divinity inside of you. You just need to let it shine. And that will help you find the connections that you are seeking to create that alignment that you're needing to help get that focus. Let's see what else we need to look over here. Oh, yeah. Keep challenging yourself. That's another thing. Keep challenging yourself. Allow yourself to grow through those challenges. So, if you want projects that really push your abilities, go for it. I think that will help you get in sync with your divine inner sense. So that's one way to create space for that card. Last but not least, beyond the mind, anything we need to know before we close out this reading. The mind moves us through the logistics of life so we can function in the world. However, endless mental chatter, self-doubt, limiting stories, and subconscious programs can keep us in our suffering. So true. I do this to myself all the time. Step outside mind-based limitations. Thank you for the redeem, Amber. I love that question. I think that's cool. It could get deep. I'm going to warn you. But that would be cool to explore. Really comfortable job. You work from home almost every day. Get well paid. Well, that's good. But you're not excited. Oh, so you're ready for the next challenge. Oh, that's good. That's really good. Step outside mind-based limitations. Looking at things in an overly logical way will hinder you and obstruct access to your superpowers. The past may be running you and making your mind spin so you cannot see what is really in front of you. Consider what your heart and your gut are telling you. What would the situation at hand feel like if you released all fears and worries? Are these concerns even yours? So, really what's preventing you from looking for that next challenge that will help you grow and make you feel alive is yourself in a way. What mental chatter are you dealing with that is preventing you from, going there, pushing yourself? Not like burnout, push yourself, but like having something very vigorous to go after. And nothing wrong with a stable job that you're doing very well and it's a very comfortable position. I mean, that's really great. It sounds like a dream job, in my personal opinion. But if you're really ready for it, I think that would be cool to look into. Something to really consider. Maybe you could take on more responsibilities in your workplace. Who knows? But also don't forget that you do have an impact on others. You do make a difference. If that for some reason is one of those negative chatters, for sure, what little that you do make an impact. People will think of you when you go. I don't think anyone should treat themselves as expendable. I think that's a very negative mindset that corporations like to instill in us. Like, oh yeah, I could fire you and then hire someone to replace you. Like, no, it's not as simple as you like to make it. It's not a factory kind of situation. I'm sorry. Some people just have more skills. And there's some unique qualities to that person that really makes them tick. Okay, ads are going to come in pretty soon, but I'm going to go ahead and shuffle for Amber's reading. Thank you so much for redeeming that. I think you got this. I really do. No, if I want a clear reading, I'm going to go with this tarot card deck. I think that's what I'll do. It was very tempting to use this and see what happens. I'd better spook you? Okay. Alright, spookiest. Celtic Cross. A little bit of shadow work, maybe? It's kind of hard to do that with the Celtic Cross because the Celtic Cross is about situational awareness. You know, trying to look at everything in a very objective view. Trying to get a better grasp of the situation at hand. So it's usually not very philosophical in that regard. And I feel like I don't need to shuffle anymore. Okay. Yeah. I thought I need to cut it, but it said no. So we're just going to roll with it. And with these kind of readings, it may take a while for me to read the whole entire thing. Just letting you all know. Okay. Oh no, ads. That's probably the most spookiest thing you had to deal with. This is a fear. Why are we afraid of that? In fact, let me think. We have 2 swords, 5 swords. Welcome back. So half of the cards are swords. Swords are a little bit scary for a lot of people. Usually it deals with pain and suffering. We have the 10 of swords here. Usually that's like the end game kind of situation. Absolute defeat. A lot of people don't like seeing that. But we do have other cards here that are not as bad, in my opinion. Okay, let's look at this ace in reverse. So I think, personally, it's about fear of failure. What kind of failure you're afraid of. I think it's a fear of failure of everything. I think that's what we're going to explore in this card reading. Okay, so looking at the Ace of Swords, I'm going to walk everyone through my thinking in the Celtic Cross spread, because everyone heard about the Celtic Cross, but they never knew how to like tackle something like this. Since we're talking about the subject matter about fears, I'm going to go straight to the Home and Dreams card here, which is this reversed Eight of Swords. Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is about our mental state. It's about any new plans or ideas that we want to bring forth, or any new news that we may receive. With it being reverse, it's us putting a wet blanket on any new idea that we have, because we're afraid. We're afraid of things failing, things falling apart. We are kicking ourselves for thinking of anything new or optimistic. How dare I think of anything positive that's going to go right for me? That kind of line of thinking, that kind of toxic relationship you have with yourself, that everything is going to blow up and meet in failure. And thus, you can't entertain any new idea that comes across your plate. Your mental plate, I should say. Because of this fear, that worry, that jadedness, that negativity of nothing is going to be fleshed out for you. And it kind of shows up here, this type of worry. Because this is all in your head. That's what the swords are. It's all mental state of mind. We have the Ten of Pentacles here, which is about ultimate success in a sense of security. You have a secure job, you have a secure home, you have stable finances, everything is right in the world, you're able to have a stable future. And then we are met with the Ten of Swords. Here it's in reverse, but the underlying mentality with the Ten of Swords is defeat. You know, this idea that I would never reach this wonderful thing I really want. And it's kind of this defeatism of nothing is going to work out. I'm a failure. And just whipping yourself over and over again with that mentality. But it's also in reverse. So there is some underlying nugget within you that says, but I'm not a failure. I'm not a hopeless person. I'm not a terrible person. There's something good to live for. That little nugget is in there. It's not a total defeat. The forest may be burned down by this lava or this volcano or this wildfire, but underneath the ash, there's growth. There's new life that will blossom and bloom. So not everything is lost. And I think not the Uno reverse. Oh my god, Amber. Not everything is loss. It's not a total, complete disrupt. It's not a complete destruction. It's not a complete loss. Again, this is all about overcoming one's mental state of the mind. Overcoming this attitude somehow that becomes so entrenched in your mind that you're willing to slap away anything positive for yourself. So let's look into the Ten of Swords in reverse. Uno. Just in case anyone tries to say it first. I said it. Uno. I win. Ten of Swords in reverse. I think the reason why this appears here, this journey and passion to try to have this stability and comfort of your life situation, is because you had dealt with a difficult period rather recently, and you just came out of it, and you're having some major doubts, and I think that's what it is. Congratulations, you survived. I don't think you realize it, but you're here. It's gonna be okay. More than anything, you have to remove that outdated mentality that's kind of in the way of achieving what you want to achieve. And that mentality had risen up because it's triggered by this recent disruption, that recent fallout, whatever it is. Right now, it's not showing me what that is. It's telling me that there was a new job, a new work opportunity that was presented. So it's not something I think was negative, but it's just all a mental mindset of this negativity of defeating yourself. And just became triggered because of this recent dark cloud that had happened. And there's plenty of dark clouds going on because of what's going on in this nation, in this administration, that's affecting in all sectors of our life. It's really hard for me not to get too political on this because it's just so pervasive in everything, and it just keeps showing up in all of my readings. It's very understandable how people are feeling this way. Okay, so we're going to get into the rest of the cards here. I think I've beaten the dead horse on this. The Hangman is about your question. Oh, I'm so sorry. That is probably the most roughest thing to go through. And absolutely life disrupting. And probably the scariest moment of our time. It was really the worst of the worst. And I completely understand this. But you survived. You really survived. You're here now. It's gonna be okay. Otherwise, I wouldn't see something like this, which is the Knight of Swords. We have the Hangman. We have the King of Swords. In this position, this is about the question, and this is about the root reason why. The question was about, even though you say, give me the spooks, make me afraid, I think this is about like spiritual quest of oneself. more than anything about how to let go and go with that flow. It's understandable, especially with the hardships we all had gone through, to try to trust life again, to take the reins and go with the motions to lead us to the right direction, because it felt like it had led us to the wrong direction in the past. And who are we to trust it to let it happen again? It's understandable why we feel this way, because we have been hurt in the past, and it's hard to let go and just go with the flow. Let me look at the King of Swords here real quick. Any ghosts nearby that I know of? Depends on your definition of ghost. And it depends on your definition of skeletons in the closet. If you're talking about actual apparitions, it depends on one's ability to see through the veil. Actual ghost. I have some experiences where I had witnessed apparitions in my time. It is rare, but they do occur. Because I have been working hard in being more receptive and being more intuitive, I'm able to pick up and sense things more than I had been before. Sometimes I do close it off, sometimes I do open it. I don't live in a haunted house. I do have guardians. I do have guardian spirits. At least I personally do. I do believe other people have ancestors, loved ones, spiritual friends that are willing to lend a hand and help out. Some people who passed away sometimes haunt because for different reasons, and eventually it would be best for them to move on. Personally, I'm in that camp where I think they need to move on. I don't think any spirit really needs to stick around, or at least a person who had passed away, I should say. I think more than anything, this tarot card here, this tarot reading, is talking about your mental attitude, about success in life. I know you're trying to steer the conversation away from it because it is unnerving you, and it's not something you want to face. But I'm going to continue on with this reading. You did ask for you did ask for spooks, but the spooks is the skeleton in your closet. I do know a tarot reader who do use the cards as a form of mediumship to help her connect those who have passed. and any other like supernatural beings. She's called Treasure Trove. I could do a shout out for her. Let me just not lose my place here. I think it's pretty important. Move some of this over. So if you want a tarot reader that does connect on that level, I recommend her. She's going through some things right now. Her schedule is going to be a little bit random. Oh, and actually, no, you probably are looking for someone who's more like a medium. I'm not a medium. There are a couple of people who I do work with. But it's not something that I do. I don't do it like her. Alright. King of Swords. Oh, science and logic. Okay. We're very analytical. All about hard science, logic, scientific method, scientific reasoning. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with having that type of mindset whatsoever. In fact, I think it helps you give some groundwork in how this world works on a mundane level. And there's nothing wrong in exploring that on a analytical basis. It's one way to keep yourself grounded while you're doing some sort of spiritual insight and work. Part of the hangman's experience in something that is kind of spiritual is kind of more internal. It's a little bit like the hermit, but it's more about like how do we release control? How do we just allow things to be without putting the burden upon ourselves or being so judgmental upon ourselves for not making it to whatever goalpost that we set before us. Because this is a huge goalpost to have, this 10 of Pentacles here, where we want to have all the things, all the success in our life, all of our check marks checked off. But it's really hard to trust that to go there when we experience something absolutely awful that is beyond our control. We want to try to navigate away from it. But really, the reality is there's no way you could control a pandemic, especially a global one. You can't tell the pandemic, don't do this, don't do that. You can't. It's simply a virus that had spread and contaminated. It was very rampant because it was something all of our collective immune systems never had experienced before. Using that as an example. So understandably, it is hard to get through that type of mental mindset when you dealt with something that is completely out of our control, and we want to corral it in a logical, boxed kind of way where we can maintain it as a garden. The best way to handle that kind of pandemic was doing the vaccine protocol. You know, have all of our scientists come together to find a cure of sorts, or at least a solution to help rein it in. And you are trying to do that on a microscopic scale, aka yourself, where you're trying to rein in and control your life direction instead of allowing some things to flow. there's nothing wrong in going about life in a very logical, analytical sense. But it also tends to lead to these kind of mental defeatist kind of modes of thinking that is outdated and it's doing you a disservice. You can't be an absolute failure because there are no absolutes. The life is too changeable for something to stay that way in an absolute manner. Okay, let's break down the rest of this spread. Page of Pentacles. In the past, I usually like to see the Page of Pentacles like a new financial opportunity, like a job, like a career. So, whenever that had happened, sometime later, we have a Three of Cups kind of situation where you're looking for a sense of community and having a hard time doing so. That could be from a change of friends down the road who may not have the same mental mindset that you have, and it will be better for you to try to find a group of people in the future that will be more aligned with your taste, your mindset, what you value, what you appreciate. Finding your own community would be more beneficial if the current people surrounding you are not really your cup of tea, at least not anymore. And I think you're going to head that way in the near future. You live with your Gen X mom, who you love, but was very, oh, I'm so sorry. That's so difficult. I'm grateful my parents, who are part of the boomer generation, was knowledgeable and understanding enough of what's going on, or what was going on with the pandemic. They were on the ball. They were watching for something like this for a long time, and when it happened, they were able to jump in and do something about it. Like, always be prepared. It's kind of like the Scout motto. And any sort of natural disaster, you just have a game plan to like enact on it. And just trying to navigate through that, I'm just very grateful my parents were able to do that. And I'm so sorry that you didn't experience that with your mother. I mean, it's understandable. A lot of people react differently to the same situation. And I'm so sorry she reacted in a very unlogical manner. No, they were just able to understand that, ooh, we should mask up before the CDC said mask up. They were wiping things down before they start announcing to the nation, wipe things down. You know, they were like on the ball. When they see like the first couple of cases out west on the West Coast, they just knew it was going to get bigger than that. And zombies. They just know that it was just going to go down really hard, really fast. And in many ways, like, my mom is pretty psychic. This is where I get my gifts from. You know, part of me is psychic because of her. You know, and because of her really strong intuition. And thanks to my dad, who's willing to say, yeah, let's be prepared for natural disasters. They were able to like grasp the situation very well and act on it. I wish more people were like that. Um, some people just cannot handle being confined in one place. Um, they're still analyzing what was the best way to go, what was the worst way to go, but it was not a fun situation for anyone. I just want to be clear, everyone had suffered. In some form, some reason, everyone have felt some major defeat and loss during that time period. Whether it was losing loved ones or losing a sense of, going outside, being confined, or losing a sense of normalcy in that situation. That's hard. Um, I don't think you really are giving up or like having that type of mentality overrode your entire sense of being, because you do have the Eight of Pentacles here where you are investing in yourself. Um, Sometimes it's through education. When I see the Eight of Pentacles, allowing yourself to invest in your academic career path, um, allowing yourself to learn and grow, making sure that you are putting in the work, whatever you're working on, um, whether it is furthering your career or like your profession, um, just to get away from this capitalistic mindset, like doing the arts, doing anything that's not like the base end product. Um, it is a profession, and contributing to it, making sure that it is worthwhile, it is an investment. And it will pay out, but not in the way that this capitalistic paradigm has created, such as science, such as art, etc. Your home environment, it's the Six of Swords. I am going on a limb, since we have the Page of Pentacles here and we have the Six of Swords here. You're probably considering moving because of job opportunities, or you just received a job opportunity and you may have to leave your current home environment. And because you have to leave, or at least maybe not your home environment, maybe your current job position going to the new one. And because of that, there may be some tension going on. And it's a little bit strained. You're unemployed. Okay. I'm sorry. I do believe eventually moving to a new environment will create some measure of peace for you to get away from the disparagement that's going on, if that makes sense. Getting away from the hustle and bustle, or like the arguments, or any sort of negativity that's going on, and create a space for yourself that will help you think, I think, is a better phrase of saying it. Knight of Swords here is just letting you know that no matter what, seize the day, in the sense of don't sit around and mope. Do put in the work in finding out these opportunities. Do email, do call, do look, do reach out to get a new job, a new place, whatever that is. There are opportunities around you that you can sink your teeth into. You just got to go out and find it. And you have to have the courage to go after and make it happen. Only you can make it happen. No one's just going to hand it to you. You're going to have to go out and find it. You're going to have to hunt it down, like this Knight of Swords. So, I apologize for misinterpreting the Page of Pentacles. Sometimes it does indicate a change of professions or a change of careers, and I did not realize that it could be about unemployment. So I apologize. But that change had created that mental spiral that I was talking about in the very beginning. And I think you just have to cut away from those old mentalities, that disruptive mindset, to really go after what is right for you. It will create a whole new friendship dynamic, a whole new community dynamic in your environment. But you will find your own community if you go out and look for it. If that wasn't spooky, sorry. I think more than anything, the spooks that you have is the skeleton in your closet. This your own inner demon. I think that's the best way of saying it. And you're going to have to defeat it and kill it if you really want to go after what you want. And I honestly think you can. This is just your hopes and fears. It's not anything concrete. What's really concrete is the push to go after these opportunities that are around you. It's just finding what works for you. I think that's what really matters. You do have the skills, and you are willing to invest in yourself. And that's nothing to sniff at. Most people just get a job just to get a job, and they don't really put in the effort because they feel like they're not getting paid for that effort. And while I understand that sentiment, you're the type of person who are willing to problem solve and fix things. And I think that would be beneficial for you to find that kind of job or profession that lends to that. So I wish you all the best. I really, really do. I think if you put in the work, if you go out and look for whatever it is that you want to do, I think you can make it happen. You're a smart cookie, and I don't think you should doubt yourself. Ooh. I think that would be cool. And if you can't make it as a movie, you could always turn it into a story or a short novel or something. But a movie is cool. And you know what? If Hollywood doesn't pick it up, if you get enough people, or like the state that you live in has a funding for like film, you can get a local crew to make it happen and then like have a movie channel on YouTube. There's multiple ways to skin a cat. I think that's really awesome. Go for it. Ooh, yes, please do. I won't say it out loud because it will be a VOD on YouTube. What time is it? Okay, we have time for more readings if y'all want more readings. Hi, Yo-Yo. Welcome back in. Welcome, welcome. Ooh. That's really good. I love a little bit of fan fiction. That's awesome. Oh, awesome. If you want to redeem that, you're more than welcome to. Before the ads hit, if you all want to get a reading, it would be through the channel points. Rose, if you're still here, hopefully... Oh, wait, no, you probably are not here. Never mind. But, Rose, if you see this again, be sure to use the channel points to get a reading. That's right. I remember now, you sent me this song that you were working on. I remember. Yeah, I think that's cool. I remember now. I think there's nothing wrong in doing like a really cool fanfic. I really don't know how you can make it a movie, but like, write it out. Write it out and put that into reality. Eventually you could find a way to morph it into something else. Ooh, I got a little fun thing for all of you who are dealing with ads who are subscribers, so. Yeah. So this is the Four Horsemen logo. Yeah. Hold on. Music. There we go. That's what I'm wearing right now. There's the Four Horsemen. Poor Amber. In fact, it's a little bit warm. I'm gonna like take this off for the rest of the stream. Thank you. Four Horsemen has some really good artists. And there are stickers. I don't know who the artist is in the company. I will have to figure it out. But this is the stickers that they had sent last year. I don't have a home for this yet. But I've been hanging on to it because I really love the artwork. They have Death, they have Pestilence, they have Conquest, etc. It's really cool. I really love it. It also lines up with the short story, poem story that I had called Danza de la Morte. Oh, yeah, thank you so much for the redeem again. The Mighty Putty. Billy Mays here. How to pick a specific career path. Okay, So the best way to go when tarot, when tarot, when you tarot, um, let me close this door here because my cat had opened this. And I'm sure they're tired of hearing my voice down the hall. When it comes to choosing career paths, you kind of already have like careers ahead of you, right? Otherwise, it would be hard for me to do the 3 card spread if we don't have the choices laid out. So, we could go for choice A, choice B, choice C, so long you don't switch them around. And I could do it that way. Yeah, I got like something in my lips. Or at least like the... Yeah, that could work. Okay. Otherwise, I would suggest looking at your astrological chart to see what would be a good work environment for you and what skills that you would like to use in that type of profession. It would give you a wide range of options that will be that might pose an interest for you. And it may be something they may not have mentioned in any astrological sign type of thing. Ooh. Probably another thing we could do for a sub goal is to do a astrological chart kind of day where I talk about how to not put together, but like how to what you call it. I had words. How to analyze an astrological chart. I think that's the best way to go. And I could do a whole session about that with my own chart. Okay. So, just to help me visualize, let's get rid of this. Yeah. And we don't need this anymore because I am not doing that kind of revision. Option A. Option B. Option C. Just to like help me visualize. That's the thing about tarot. It's all about mental visualization. Okay. And this is not set in stone. Whatever is not working for you, do change. Do pivot. I had to pivot away from this one career path I had my heart set on after high school. And I'm doing a lot better now because of it. So if you ever need to like change and adapt to things down the road, please do so. That is the only advice I could give as an oldie out here in this world. Okay, I don't feel like cutting. So the way I like to do these choices is to look at what lessons or situations we may come across if we go down these paths. So option A, we have the 8 of Swords, but it's in reverse. In fact, they're all in reverse. Not to say that all these options are bad. It just means that there's a life lesson that we may be experiencing And there's some inner advice in how to handle that situation if you do decide to go that way. We have the Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords deals with mental anxieties, mental health issues. Usually, that mental issue we are combating, that we kind of inflict upon ourselves, and it has a tendency to cloud our vision. With it being in reverse, it's suggesting to us that there is some clarity after such a cloudy, confusing experience. Probably what we're experiencing right now. And that will help us push through those anxieties, and everything will come clear, and we're able to move in a more positive direction. Let me also... Nope, you know what? I will have to make my own crib list here, eventually. I think that would be our sub goal for 5 subs. Instead of just doing a roulette of the new game that we'll play, I'll do that at the end of Final Fantasy IX. Let's make it a sub goal where if we hit 5 subs, we'll have an astrological day. I think that would be fun. Yeah. Let's go over here. There we go. So in a career or profession, it could show progress on exploring new solutions and opportunities. He gave an example of someone who was so worried of being forced out from a company that was restructuring, and that person ended up having a new job and opportunity within that company's new structure. Or, I'm sorry, was offered a new position with a competitor that had better pay. And eventually he was able to have more options open. So this particular career path, you have more options available to you, and you have new solutions. This cloudiness that you're experiencing will be lifted away, and any anxieties that you have along with it. Option B, we have the Justice card in reverse. No, 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 no. Let's look at this. Do, 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 do. I think it's in the later. Nope, it's not. Sooner than that. Even sooner than that. I just realized my deck put the Justice card elsewhere. That's not typical. Oh, there we go. That would be cool. Yeah, I think that's a very good option. Let's look at the others. Ooh, okay, so option B, I may not suggest this one. It indicates ongoing unfairness in the workplace. So when we do have it upright, it usually indicates fairness, equality, equal opportunity employer, that kind of thing. When it's in reverse, it's usually about injustice, unfairness, no equal say, that kind of thing. So, AKA discrimination. You may be dealing with discrimination with this part. People have very old, outdated views. Some people will do things illegally, under the table, a lot of disregard with the law, a lot of unfairness from the top down, that kind of situation. I don't recommend this, personally. So, whatever this is, I don't recommend it. And there will be like some bullying involved. Option C, 8 of Wands. Let me see how it is in a career aspect. 8 of Wands is not entirely bad. It's just difficult. So in general, with 8 of Wands, you will have progress, but it's met with disruptions, some delays, some setbacks, but it's not so devastating on the setbacks and delays that's going to stop with the forward progress of whatever this career path would be. In fact, whenever you dealt with those delays and that career path, it's going to ask you to go back and fix or improve things before moving forward. Finding solutions that's creating the gunk in that system, so to speak. There's a reason why these delays are happening. Let's see if you could streamline and find the solution before you move forward. And that's kind of the whole story of this career path if you chose this route. It could also mean a lot of travel for work, conferences, a lot of meetings, but a lot of travel. And of course, travel, you have delays because of flights, because of weather, because of whatever it is. You also would be dealing with a lot of deadlines and demands. This is not something that you can relax into. It is, in my personal opinion, a viable career option. It's just work. A lot of work. You have to manage delays and frustrations. There is a possibility of travel with option C. Option A, I feel like that's probably the best choice that you have, personally. Hi, Blondie. You know how to make an entrance. There will be new improvements, new opportunities, new everything that will help clear any sort of anxiety or doubts that you have with this one. Nothing much is said after that. Hi. So, I recommend option A, option C, if you don't mind the hustle and bustle. I don't recommend option B. I think that's a headache to deal with such an unfair environment, personally. So that's what I recommend. At least these two. Something to think about. It's a very big deal choosing a career path. And honestly, if something is not really working out for you, always find a way to pivot, find a solution, find something that really does work out for you. Nothing wrong with that at all. Oh, and let's get you an oracle card. To like help, figure things out. More food for the thought. For the thought? I have words. I could say words. Oh my god. I'm sorry everyone, I'm crashing out. Okay. Ooh, Earth Star Chakra. Okay. This is cool. Relatable. Yeah, for real. This is cool. Earth Star Chakra, this is the chakra that's supposed to be on the outer orbit of the root chakra. It's like the feet. Chakra for the feet. You are standing at a gateway into the unknown, with trust in your heart, ancient remembering in your soul, and inner illumination to light the way. You have access to the seat of creation, the spark of existence, and the codes that hold the blueprint of who and what we are. This place is clear and grounded, despite moving through multidimensional realms and able to bridge the worlds while functioning in physical reality. The higher you reach for the divine and the realms of the spirit, the more important it is to anchor deeply into the earth. So what this tells me is you're at the cusp of a new voyage. And because you're at this cusp of this new voyage, there's a little bit of anxiety of, ooh, do I have what it takes to go through this journey? And it's just giving you the reassurance that you do. You do have this resource in your back pocket, and that resource is you. So long you keep yourself grounded, you're able to go high. You got what it takes. That's the basis of this card. I had received that card so many times when I'm... Okay, story time. I was working at a amusement park. It's an indoor amusement park, and I was a mechanic. I recently went into that job, and while the work was fascinating and I loved the people there were some hiccups I was dealing with, and it's not exactly a profession that I was really looking into, which, is to be an author and to make stories and get my work out there. And all of a sudden I had this opportunity that came knocking in my door, or at least in my email, saying, hey, we like what you wrote, would you like to join us? And it was 4 Horsemen. And I don't know why at the time I was dealing with this mentality of I have to be practical and I have to make ends meet, try to be responsible, realistic, etc. And my mother had to sit me down, and she said that I saw this before with my mother, who was an extremely gifted artist, a painter, and she put that on the shelf to take on this factory job position to provide for her family, and it ate her up. And she never had been able to bring her paintings and her skill to the world. And she didn't want to see that happen to me with my stories and with the book that I was trying to get published, which was The Doppelganger Queen. And she think that I have this amazing gift that I should not put a basket on and just try to walk away from this opportunity that had occurred. And at the time, I was thinking of trying to stay in that workplace and try to learn the craft of being a mechanic. You know, essentially putting that on the shelf and walking away from it. I was going to, other tarot readers. Treasure Trove is one of the tarot readers who was able to, help further convince me to, really connect and stay, on the artist path. And this keeps coming up as I was finalizing papers and going with them, which is allowing myself the opportunity to go forward knowing I have the skill set to provide something to the table, bring something to the table. They wouldn't want to connect with me if I didn't have something. And it was something worth going for, something worth doing, despite of everything. There were some hardship, going with Four Horsemen, some hiccups along the way, but it was worth it. My book is published. I'm going to have a second table or signing and panel, that I'm doing shortly. So whatever it is that you wish to do, you do have the chops to make it happen. No matter, what type of mindset you had about yourself, this opportunity wouldn't present itself if you didn't have the skill set to meet those demands. Oh, thank you. I almost threw it away because I was afraid it wouldn't amount to anything. And I realized there's something more in this world than a paycheck. It's something that's very fulfilling for me. It is a craft. I am an artist. I know that this society doesn't really value artists unless you produce a end product, and that's something we need to change. Down the road, it's just going to be very difficult with how we're steering the ship currently, but it is a very fulfilling career and profession for me, and I believe that you will find one for you someday. Whatever that is, just go after it. No matter if it's not realistic, things work itself out. They do. But if you doubt that you don't have it, you do. That wouldn't appear if you didn't. Okay. So I am done for the day. It's been a huge blast. I'm so happy I was finally able to announce that. I will make another announcement, the same announcement on Saturday. So if all the Final Fantasy people missed out, at least you'll have the opportunity to hear it. Or at least your friends who only join for the Saturday Final Fantasy stuff. They got something waiting for them. And then June 1st, everything just gets worldwide announcement on YouTube and Blue Sky. So if your friend does come to this channel or loves reading my stuff and they want to hear that announcement before it goes live elsewhere this coming Sunday, drag them here for this coming Saturday, or like spoil it to them, if they're not going to make it. Let everyone know if you want to drag your friends and family who like love a dark fantasy that's a little bit humorous, a little bit unreliable narrator. Let them know about this book. I'm gonna find a lovely person to read real quick. Ads are gonna kick in while I'm gonna look. I hope y'all actually no. You know what? No, we're not gonna have ads. We're not gonna have ads. Let me find someone we could vibe with. Here we go. Oh, thank you. And thank you for being here. I really appreciate all of you coming in. All of you who are new, all of you who are who have been here for like a really long time. More than welcome to be here. Let's see. Who do we want? We have Dead by Daylight. We have Darkest Dungeon. And we also have Tarot. How do we all feel? Do we want more Tarot? Or do we want Dead by Daylight? Or do we want Darkest Dungeon? How do we feel? Maybe I should make a poll. Now the hard part, how to make a poll. I'm so good at streaming, Ava1. I'm so skilled. I know how to do streamer things. That's goals. Poll. Here we go. New poll. Let's give it 5 minutes. Poll should be up now. Let me know where you want me to raid. If you want more tarot, let me know. Oh, we have some people who left. That's fine, I'll still raid. But I want to thank everyone for being here, watching this. I will have some new things coming up for June. Saturday will be the last Final Fantasy stream before June. I will take a break for Final Fantasy because of this new tarot thing I will be implementing. I just won't have the time between Final Fantasy and Tarot with what's going on in June. But if you all love watching gameplays, there will be a gameplay on YouTube. And I will post that for everyone. Final Fantasy will come back in July. first Saturday of July, that will come back. Once I recover for the con. It's looking like we have more tarot. That's going to be the new raid. If no one else votes in a minute, I will go ahead and make that happen. I probably should make it like a 3-minute poll. That's on me. No, I can't dismiss ads anymore. Okay. We may be raiding through the ad. So let me go ahead and start creating some raid messages here. So if you are a subscriber, having this on repeat will work. Any sort of bongo commands or dancing emotes that you have will also work as well with tarot time. I'm going to copy that as well. Copy. There we go. And we're going to raid over to Moon the Raccoon. There we go. They made it so much easier to raid now. I don't have to type it in. So we are getting ready to raid. And thank you all so much for watching. And I'll see you all over there on the other side. Bye, everyone. I'll see you all this coming Saturday. And y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. Take care. Bye-bye.